This video was prompted by the first of only 3 meetings of the Sussex Police and Crime Panel arranged for 2013. That meeting enables one to compare the Commissioner and Panel's performance with what Parliament envisaged when they passed the Police Reform and Social Responsibility Act 2011. The main object of replacing Sussex Police Authority with a Commissioner and a Police and Crime Panel was to increase the accountability of the police. The meeting, which took place on the 11th of January 2013, is the main subject of the video. The members of the panel I saw there I have given a gold star, but first I want to put the meeting into context. In a democracy, public bodies are supposed to be accountable to the people they serve. For practical purposes, the role of the populace is exercised mainly through the ballot box. Police accountability means that the police are obliged to provide the public, often indirectly, with information about their actions and decisions. It means that the police are required to justify those actions and decisions if they might be questionable, to improve them if they are unsatisfactory, and to receive punishment if they involve misconduct. The Commissioner, elected by the people, is supposed to take the lead in ensuring that the police are accountable, and the panel, largely elected, monitors the work of the Commissioner and can intervene if necessary to ensure that the system is working in a reasonable way. What is the Commissioner supposed to do? The requirements specified by the Police Reform and Social Responsibility Act are too numerous to spell out in full here, but paragraphs 6 and 7 of Part 1, Chapter 1, Section 1 should give a good idea of what is most important. The Police and Crime Commissioner for a police area must secure the maintenance of the police force for that area and secure that the police force is efficient and effective. The Police and Crime Commissioner for a police area must hold the relevant Chief Constable to account for the exercise of the functions of the Chief Constable and the functions of persons under the direction and control of the Chief Constable. Item 4 on the agenda of the panel's January meeting was Police and Crime Commissioner's Draft Police and Crime Plan and Proposed Precept. The hyperlink attached accesses the Draft Police and Crime Plan for 2013-2014, an 18-page document, pages 16 and 18 of which are completely blank. I'll just comment briefly on the PR hogwash with which the section headed Police starts. Sussex is a safe place to live and work, and the graph below demonstrates that crime in Sussex has reduced year on year since 2005-2006. The graph below does not demonstrate that crime in Sussex has reduced, since it is not a graph of crime in Sussex, but a graph of crime recorded by the police. One would need to be unusually ignorant or decidedly stupid not to know that much crime goes unreported, and no one knows what proportion of crime reported to the police goes unrecorded, or in the words of an Office of National Statistics publication, recorded crime figures are affected by changes in levels of reporting to the police and recording by them, and this should be borne in mind when looking at long-term trends. To say that Sussex is safe is simply untrue. The graph is not misleading in itself, but such selective use of statistics is tendentious. The Office of National Statistics enables one to add to the figures. Since 1990, after the expenditure of some £5 billion on Sussex police, recorded crime per annum in Sussex has increased by 1,632. Item 1 on the agenda of the January meeting revealed an interest that was to take up much of the 2-hour meeting.
I'm a member of the Horsham Safety Partnership, so I'll declare that.
I'm the chairman of the Ada and Worthing Safe Communities Partnership and also the West Sussex Strategic Community Safety Partnership.
Tom Warren, Mr. Chairman, member of the Ada and Worthing Safer Community Partnership.
Councillor Andy Smith, I'm the chair of the Lewis District Partnership.
Councillor Nigel Boxall, I'm the chair of the Safer Crawley Partnership.
Councillor Trelaw, I'm also an East Sussex County Councillor, so I declare it.
Christopher Snowling, I'm a member of the Mid Sussex Partnership.
Robin Patton, Rother Safety Partnership.
Claire Dowling, I'm chairman of the Safer Wealdon Partnership.
Brian Donnelly, the Horsham Safety Partnership. And while I do have the opportunity, is it possible maybe the legal people to tell us, we're going to have this every time we come here, is it possible to have it sort of enshrined so we don't have to go through it or not?
Graham Hill, member of the Safe Community Partnership Crawley and Community Safety Partnership Horsham, and also an employee of Victim Support.
Hill was a police officer in Sussex and completed 30 years' service. When I contacted local Victim Support myself, I discovered that they do not support victims of misconduct by corrupt Sussex police officers.
David Elkin, I just need to declare that I am the chairman of the East Sussex Safety Partnership.
The chairman, with his microphone off, though he had lectured the others about microphone use earlier, asked about the need for declarations of interest, and someone responded.
Yes, we can look to provide a dispensation on certainly membership of CSPs, and we can look into that before the next meeting.
Dispensation was the word used by the Independent Police Complaints Commission when they gave Sussex Police permission not to investigate complaints from me of police corruption on the strength of lies told them by Sussex Police Professional Standards Department. The main item on the agenda, Police and Crime Commissioner's Draft Police and Crime Plan and Proposed Precept, was introduced by the Commissioner.
What I'm asking is to take your attention to, let's make sure I've got the right page numbers here, page 15, which is, I like to refer to as the dartboard, which you are familiar with, and very much the plan is fed into this 3 engagement, partnership and police diagram. And hopefully it's fairly explanatory how everything works.
Page 15 in the PDF document I downloaded is text about national policing priorities, and this from page 7 is the nearest thing to a dartboard in that document. The voluntary and charitable sector and health are in the highest scoring area, and there's far too much bull at the centre, but it could form the basis for a new pub game.
And then if you turn to page 21, 20 and 21, these are our local and national priorities, but I'd particularly like you to focus on the local priorities with regards to the community safety partnerships. The first priority is crime and community safety. So this is keeping Sussex a low crime area.
To check whether Sussex is a low crime area, I downloaded the first set of spreadsheets of police recorded crime I found online for England and Wales 2011 to 12 and opened the first sheet to note some figures. The first column in the table was for total crime. 44 forces are listed, with City of London at the top with fewest records and Sussex 31st out of 44. As an example of conservative thinking in one of the partnerships about the policing plan, I've chosen this Burke.
Historically in this country we police by consent, and quite rightly this strategic document focuses very much on policing. But looking at the partnership side, while you sort of refer to partnerships in there, one of the things we're not talking about is a partnership with the public. I mean, policing is a shared responsibility. It's not just a matter for the police. And quite often people find it very easy to blame someone else for the problems rather than see what can be done themselves. And I wondered whether within this document we need perhaps just to slightly change the emphasis there to make the point about community involvement. because it is important, I think, that people realise and understand that they will be expected, and should quite rightly be expected to not only trust the police, but also support the police. And the word support is not in this document. We talked about tackling fear of crime and building trust, not about building support. And I'd like to see that added.
Thank you, Councillor Simmons. I think I'm on record, actually, on a BBC interview saying it's my role is not just to hold the police to account, but it's also to celebrate the work that they do within our communities and to show our support. And I totally agree with what you're saying. I'm very keen that communities start to take responsibility. It's the two R's, isn't it? Rights and responsibilities. And you're absolutely right. Policing by consent is something we've historically done, but I do feel that as communities we would like to encourage them to take more responsibility for policing, well, not policing their area, but taking responsibility for the crime and the safety within their area. And I think that's done very capably through the community safety partnerships.
A Liberal Democrat councillor had a more analytic approach to the policing plan.
There's a lot of intention, which is good, and I'm really pleased about that. And the good thing about the Police Commissioner elections was that intention was brought forward to the public arena. What we're lacking here today is the how. And I think that's what everyone has been reflecting on. You said the intention is in the plan and it's lacking the how. The how will very much come out in the narrative as the plan progresses. But the intention are the local priorities which will shape the narrative. And also the how, if I can draw your sights back to the dartboard that's actually in the plan, that gives you very much the how there. I know it's visual, but it works. The how is going to be through engagement with businesses, voluntary sector, victims and witnesses, the community, through working with partnerships and through working with the police. And as you can see, the police and crime plan is very much at the centre. It's collaborative. It's about the commissioning that's coming down the line in the future. And the police's operational delivery plan feeds into that as well. So hopefully it's visual, but it's explanatory on that.
I'll deal briefly with a couple of other agenda items. The Commissioner started item 5, appointments, by saying that she had extended the Chief Constable's employment contract by a year, the most she could, and explained why.
In the interests of continuity of leadership, stability of office, and because I have formed a very, very good professional working relationship with the Chief Constable so far, I was very keen to extend his contract for a further year at the earliest possible opportunity.
Continuity of leadership and stability of office would have continued whatever the quality of the leader, and the third reason is also of dubious value. Item 7 was a report of complaints. I was interested in complaints about Sussex Police because the way they and the police authority handled complaints must have contributed to the lousy quality of policing I experienced in Wealden. I am less interested in complaints to the panel, but found the process quite amusing.
We have received 2 letters. I would hesitate to call them complaints. I would say letters of comment. But it will necessitate us having our little panel, which I'm hoping you will agree that we can quickly convene just to have after this meeting, so that we can just deal with it. But there are issues that we need to respond to.
The hand of a West Sussex security officer indicates that he wishes to speak. Something of what he said is represented by the waveform on the left. That on the right is the chairman saying,
hence my...
So much amplification was required to make out what Edwards was saying that, ignoring a few introductory words, I have transcribed what I think he said. As delegated by the panel to him, the monitoring officer of West Sussex County Council has seen both pieces of correspondence and confirmed that he considers neither to allege anything any criminal activity, so neither for the purposes of the regulations is it serious, Regu is deemed serious.
Hence my use of the word comment rather than complaint. But we need, as we asked at our previous meeting, the panel would be inclusive of one independent and one minority group. So volunteers? 2, 3. Are you happy to stop on Graham? Oh, sorry, Sandra. A volunteer, better than a press man. Fine, thank you for that. We'll deal with that then immediately after the meeting.
So, a little panel of volunteers dealt with it at a little private meeting at the end of the public meeting. West Sussex County Council on its website says of the panel, its role is to scrutinise the performance of the Commissioner and to ensure transparency. I've now seen both webcasts of the panel at work, and from the audible parts of them do not remember a single word that calls into question the quality of policing in Sussex. The last substantial report by Her Majesty's Inspectorate of Constabulary in 2009, delivering the policing pledge, was given scant attention by Sussex Police Authority, so it became the subject of my YouTube video called Sussex Police Still Substandard. The policing pledge set out 10 minimum standards for police forces. Sussex Police's overall grade was fair. On 2 categories they were rated good, on 7 they were rated fair, and on 1 they were rated so bad that they were subjected to a second inspection. The second report still graded Sussex Police as fair. The meaning of the word fair varies widely according to context. HMIC specifies its meaning in their report. Fair is awarded where performance is variable and falls short of the required standard. Remedial action is needed.